like to call to order the April Knox County Board of Zoning Appeals. If you would call the roll, please.
Mr. Reed. Mr. Williams. Mr. Anderson. Mr. Elliott.
Present.
Mr. Huff.
Present.
8 members are present.
If you would, please join me in the pledge to allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of Republic, indivisible, justice for all. Members of the Board of Zoning Appeals are volunteers from each commission district who do not receive compensation for their work on the board or training they attend. As a quasi-judicial body, we avoid ex parte communication and conduct our business in accordance with the Open Meetings Act. My name's Paul Huff. I'm the chairman of the Board of Zoning Appeals. To my right is Mr. Curtis Brown, the vice chairman. To his right is Mr. Myers Morton, our law director. Steve, do you have other folks present today?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. I have myself. I have Miranda Ward from our planning or our building codes office, and I have Mike Reynolds from Knox Planning with me.
Thank you. Our voting procedure requires a simple majority of board members present. Today, there are 8 members present. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve previous meeting minutes.
So moved.
Seconded.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Knox County Board of Zoning Appeals is authorized to grant variances and hear other matters by the Tennessee Code and the Knox County Zoning Ordinance, specifically Section 6.60, quote, Board of Zoning Appeals, unquote. These laws prescribe strict parameters, the meeting of which is required to grant a variance. The burden of proof that an application meets these parameters rests on the applicant. Quoting from Knox County Code of Ordinances 6.0, 6.04, the purpose of a variance is to modify the strict application of the specific requirements of this ordinance in the case of exceptionally irregular, narrow, shallow, or steep lots, or other exceptional physical conditions, whereby such strict application would result in practical difficulty or unnecessary hardship, which would deprive an owner of the reasonable use of their land. The variance shall be used only where necessary to overcome some obstacle which is preventing an owner from using their property as the zoning ordinance intended. For each matter, the clerk will read the request into the record. The chair will then ask if the applicant is present. The chair will then ask if there is opposition or other speakers who wish to present. You do not have to come forward at this time. I will also ask if there are members of the general public that would like to make comments. The chair will then call on the applicant to come forward, state their name and address for the record, and present their evidence and reasoning supporting the granting of a variance. If there is no opposition, the applicant has 10 minutes to present their case. If there is opposition, the applicant and opposition have up to 15 minutes. After the applicant's presentation, the board members may ask questions of the applicant. The chair will then call for opposition or other parties who have up to 15 minutes to speak. This 15 minutes applies to all parties, so if there are multiple parties that wish to speak, please determine how you're going to divide your time beforehand. After the opponents present their opposition, the board members may ask questions of the opponents. Finally, there will be a discussion of the case by the board, during which time the board members may ask further questions of the parties that have already testified. The board will then make any determination it deems necessary. Our bylaws allow an applicant at the initial hearing of the matter to request a deferral of 30 or 60 days without prejudice. In the event of a deferral of an application or failure to appear, any opponents may be heard on the record at a meeting where the application they oppose appears on the agenda. Mr. Law Director, would you please swear in anyone wishing to speak before the board?
If you're going to testify and present evidence before this board, please stand and raise your right hand. and repeat after me. I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. Okay, thank you.
Are there any agenda changes? I think there are a few.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Items 4A, 4B, 4C, and 4D have requested a 30-day deferral.
Very well. I believe on item 4D, there is opposition in attendance today. Well, let me first ask, is there opposition to the Barbary Lane development?
Yeah, sitting in the front.
Okay. You have the option of addressing the board today, your opposition, or waiting until the applicant is present and makes their case. It doesn't matter to us, it's up to you. Do you wish to speak in opposition today or wait?
You want to do it today?
They
wanna
wish
do
to
it
do it today, Chairman.
Okay. Madam Clerk, if you would read for the record, application number 4D.
4D is a request of Ben Mullins to appeal Planning Commission denial of Development Plan 3D26DP. The property is located at 3324 and 3328 Barbary Lane, parcel ID 09ACA009 090AC008. Property is zoned PR in the 6th Commission District.
The applicant is not present. There is opposition. And do we have any statement from Knox County Codes or Engineering?
We have none. I'm not for sure if Knox Planning may have a statement, but Engineering and Codes has none.
Mike, do you have anything to add?
Not at this time. I'll be happy to answer questions about background if you have any.
Well, in the absence of the applicant, out and let the opposition present their case. You have 15 minutes. You want to come to the microphone and speak? You'll need to turn the microphone on. Just push the little button that looks like a person's head. Yeah. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Mary Lovelace. I live at 3317 Barbary Lane. As a homeowner in the Wexford's Downs subdivision, and specifically a resident of Barbary Lane, I'm very much against the proposition of a new home to be built on the properties of 3324 and 3328 Barbary Lane for several reasons. It is my understanding that Ms. Sheila Prophet Crum and Mr. Daniel Crum own not only both properties at 3324 and 3328, but also a townhome duplex across the street at 3329 Barbary Lane. As of today, Mr. and Ms. Crum use both units of 3329 and 3324 for temporary lodging through Verbo. I imagine they intend on using 3328 for the same purpose once they are done remodeling. I can again imagine should a third home be built on lots 3324 and 3328, they would again intend on using that home for temporary lodging. On its own, I have no issue with temporary lodging programs like Verbo and Airbnb. What I do take issue with is the congestion and activity having 4 Verbos, potentially 5 if counting 2 for the duplex, on one residential street. Since moving into our home in September of 2021, we have experienced numerous nuisance issues directly related to the homes owned and rented by Mr. and Ms. Crum. One of the homes is very frequently used as a party house, as it is advertised as a 3-bedroom home with converted garage that sleeps 12 individuals in a single-family zoned residence. Loud music and yelling can be heard at all hours of the night, at times so loud I can hear it clearly in my toddler's bedroom with all windows and doors shut. The parking and traffic these 3 homes already bring in is far too much for an unlaned residential road. All three homes currently being rented are directly across the street from each other. The home under remodel would add a fourth next door, then the new lot would be a fifth behind. With all rented homes being so close together, there are multiple vehicles street parked at each home, often with work trucks, vans, and trailers. This creates an unsuitable and technically illegal traffic situation, as two cars cannot pass at the same time to get in and out of this portion of the subdivision. In April of 2023, I reached out to Ms. Crum via the Verbo app to inform her that another party group had rented her home and that one of the residents was seen on our doorbell camera urinating on our front porch at 6 o'clock in the morning. I simply wanted to make Ms. Crum aware of how the frequent traffic of her rentals was affecting the neighbors of this community. She refused to help or acknowledge the issue unless I gave her my address, which I did not feel comfortable with as the party responsible was still lodging at Ms. Crum's home. My husband and I paid good money to buy our home and start our family, specifically in an already established community that would not be subject to more building or construction. Mr. and Ms. Crum's suggestion of another home on these properties would severely impact our family and others who chose Wexford Downs subdivision for the same reasons. Thank you.
I just wanted to add that she's also put a Sleep 8 motorhome fifth wheel in the backyard of just one residence. That will be 24 people she's listing in a 960 square foot house. She has the garage closed in with 4 bunk beds, so that one's listed as a Sleep 16. Now she's put a fifth wheel in the back for another Sleep 8. This variance she's asking for parking is not going to be adequate. Never is going to be adequate for 24 people. And that's just ridiculous. She's taking advantage of our neighbors. And she goes home to her neighborhood where this isn't allowed. It comes down here and ruins ours. Tries to claim that she's lived at every one of these residences. Well, she's not happy. She just moves across the street, back and forth, and in the backyards. But all it is a constant pain for everybody that lives there. And we ask that you stop her from expanding anymore. Appreciate it.
Excuse me.
We need his name and record.
We need your name and address, please, for the record.
No, say it in the,
Steve Wyrick, 3403 Orkney Circle. I was at the last, I was opposition at the last meeting when she tried to do a driveway extension onto my road, and build another house in the backyard, which she said she was going to retire in. But she's not living in any of these places. She's going to put another motorhome in the back of that house now. She's going to have Suite 24 and 2 houses right beside each other across from 2 Sleep 8s. That's too much traffic.
Before you start, I just want to remind you, the 15 minutes you have for opposition, if you use all 15 minutes today, you won't have any time to respond to Mr. Mullins when he does make his application at a later date. So it's up to you. I just wanted to make that clear.
how much time do they have left, Mr. Chairman?
You have 10 minutes
Yeah.
left, so.
10 minutes.
This is pretty quick.
Like I said, it's up to you.
Dave Ringel. I'm at 3325 Barbary Lane, Knoxville, Tennessee, dead smack in the middle of all this. I've got documentation. Can I bring this up to you guys at this time for you to look at?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Come.
This is going to be your current address. It's going to have pictures of all the congestion that's going on and all other people that are having complaints about the issues and scaredness of some of the kids. They've got teenage kids that they're all worried about. Appreciate it. Basically, without repeating everything, she pretty much said everything.
Yeah. Did you? He did.
Yeah, Dave Ringel, 3325 Barbary Lane. My main concerns is this is all bringing down our property value. We're not even sure what these are. Are they Airbnbs? Are they RVVOs? Are they long-time rentals? She lists across the board of all of them. They're turning these residential houses into commercial hotels. Like she said, one of them states 12. She's going to do the same thing with this White House that she's remodeling. She's going to turn that into a small hotel. Parking is a huge issue, huge issue. Theft, we've had theft in the neighborhood coming from her residence, along with urination. Trash now is being blown in the neighborhood because he overpopulates these houses. Trash doesn't come in time to pick things up, and they just stop, pack them up, and then trash is blowing all across our neighborhood now. And they're going to be bringing unwanted construction. This house, this settlement in our neighborhood's been there well over 30 years, well settled, and we don't need all this construction trucks and things coming in causing more congestions. Like you said, all these rental properties are less than 50 feet from each other. These are the only two people, Sheila and Daniel are the only ones doing that in this neighborhood. Nobody else is coming in doing Airbnbs. Nobody's setting up house rentals. Everybody was pretty much peace and quiet until it started happening. We are having issues now with delivery trucks getting through. Our cars are parked in the road with all her stuff going on, delivery trucks need to park at the bottom of the cul-de-sac and walk their packages to delivery. And we were really concerned about what about a service vehicle? What's going to happen if a service vehicle needs to get through and they can't because these overpopulated houses have all this traffic? That's about all I have to say. I mean, I don't think this is a good idea at all. Thank you guys for your time.
Thank you.
Make sure she documents how much time is left.
Yeah, just make sure you make a note of how much time is left. 5, 8 minutes. So you'll have 8 minutes left to respond to Mr. Well, I'm sorry.
My name's Gloria Maples. I live at 3321 Barbary Lane, which is across the street from the 3324 house. And I just wanted to reiterate whatever the other two people say. The issue is mostly the parking, and in the wintertime, it's even worse because my driveway is very steep and the road is very steep. We don't have sidewalks. We don't have anybody coming through to put salt or anything on the road. And my son is on dialysis, so he has to go 3 days a week. And this past winter, because they had many cars parked along the road because the street was icy and the hill is very steep, he couldn't get out of the driveway because he was afraid to hit one of the cars that was parked at the bottom of our driveway. And that's been an issue all along for the last couple of years, where we've had mainly the parking issue and the noise, the music, and all that kind of stuff. And I just wanted to let you know that that's what's going on, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional opposition? So you'll have 7 minutes remaining to respond to Mr. Mullins at a future date. I don't know if it'll be next month or the month after, but as soon as.
Card in the mail?
I'm sorry?
Will we get something in the mail telling us when
I don't know how that notification's made.
No, Mr. Chairman, they will not. The sign is the only thing we post out there.
If it shows up on our agenda, it will be posted online. So you can, I would tell you how, but I've never actually looked online myself. But it will be posted.
Steve, was the deferral for 30 days?
Yes, it'll be heard the fourth Wednesday of May, so that'll be May 27th is when it'll be heard.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. We will move on now to 4G.
4E is a request of Brian Mayo for waiver of periphery boundary from 35 feet to 23 feet. Property is located at 1600 Leland Way, parcel ID at 134GF006. Property is zoned PR in the 4th Commission District.
I'm sorry, did I say 4G? I meant 4E. Okay, that's what you read. Yes. Very good, thank you. Is the applicant present? Is there any opposition to this? I'm sorry, sir, were you telling me you have opposition to? Okay, that's fine. You're welcome to stay if you want, or you can leave if you want. Doesn't matter.
Is there anything I
No. Is there any statements from code on 4E?
We don't have none at this time, but we're here to answer any questions you may have.
4E is a 35-foot setback.
No, is he here? Anybody come in?
Yeah. If you would come, please, and give us your name and address for the record.
I'm Brian Mayo, 1600 Leland Way.
And if you could, pursuant to 60.60.04, give us what evidence you have that supports your application for the variance.
Well, we've got another drawing that the architect sent in and that shows kind of the topography of the land. There's actually a hill coming down from Duncan there, and there's a fence and then some landscaping as well, but we just want to come out. I think it was 16 feet to add on to the house. And it's not going to change the topography of the land, and it's not even going to be visible from Duncan, nor is it going to be visible to any of the neighbors.
Steve, remind me, is this the one where it was a peripheral setback from a zoning boundary that follows the road?
That's correct, and just that he wouldn't, if it wasn't for the periphery, he wouldn't need a setback reduction. If this was just a standard front yard, it wouldn't need a variance.
And I know I've asked this question before, but the purpose for the 35-foot peripheral setback is to provide a buffer between subdivision and next door neighbors. Is that essentially the purpose?
That's correct.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to say right now that that being the case, this peripheral setback seems to be doesn't serve much purpose in this case. So, whose district is this then? Mr. Williams is not here. In that case, I'll make a motion for him that we approve this request.
Second.
All those motion's been made and seconded. Any additional discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? You have your variance. This would be for F.
4F is a request of Jacob Messina for waiver of lot intensity from 1 acre to 0.9 acres for proposed lots 5 BR1 and 5 BR2. The property is located at 3127 Long Hollow Road, parcel ID 027-25008. Property is zoned AG in the 7th Commission District.
Is you're the applicant?
Yeah, I'm Jacob Messina, 8880 Cedar Springs Lane.
Is there any opposition to this? Any statements from codes?
We have none at this time.
Is there anybody from the general public that wishes to speak? Okay, if you could, please give us your reasons for requesting this variance in accordance with code.
Yes, sir. What we're looking to do here is just create a line that separates the property down the middle. The bottom half, lot 5 BR1, is still going to remain with the original owner. Lot 5 BR2 will be given to their grandson. We didn't notice the easement creates the nonconformity with this lot. If you look down in the lot, I guess, the tract 5 BR1, it has 1.016 acres, and tract 5 BR2 has 1.002 acres. We didn't find out until our initial submittal, which is partly our fault, that the easement area wouldn't be included in that. So I what we're looking to do is essentially just get the, I guess, a variance down to 0.9 acres so that the easement won't, since it, I guess, technically counts against us.
Yes, Ms. Garrett, this is in your district.
It is, and I think it's pretty straightforward. Obviously, the easement was not something that you did. So I'm just going to go ahead and make a motion that we approve the waiver of the lot intensity from 1 acre to 0.9 acres for the proposed lots 5 BR1 and 5 BR2 due to the easement.
I second that.
Motion's been made and seconded. I just want to ask Steve, in the wording of the new UDO, are they making allowances for easements as part of, I mean, we've run into this before where the easement caused a non-compliance because it comes out of the total lot size. I mean, I understand there are reasons why we don't want to do that, but is there any kind of guidance coming out in the UDO or not?
I've asked the consultant to look at that and provide us some feedback. I don't think we've seen that yet, have we, Mike? We've not seen it, but yes, I have asked that this type of situation not have to come before this body, that we could allow this either administratively or that it didn't get taken out of the lot area.
Okay, thank you. Back to that, motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. Motion carries. You have your easement.
Much appreciated. Thank you all.
Your variance, excuse me. 4G.
4G is a request of Wallace McClure to appeal civil penalty assessed by Engineering and Public Works. Property is located at 9922 West Emory Road, parcel ID 076031. Property is zoned PR in the 6th Commission District.
Is the applicant present?
Yes.
Any opposition to this? Anything from Knox County Codes?
I think after our agenda review, I talked with Law Director Morton, and maybe he has a difference of opinion on the way I've interpreted the ordinance. So I think I would defer to him to let him make a statement, and then we can go from there.
Myers?
Yes, sir. Knox County Ordinance 6.60.05, titled Cases Before the Board, subsection A2, every appeal shall be taken within 30 days from the date of the action causing such appeal. The ordinance that has to do with penalties and appeals, 26-157, a subsection E includes said request must be made when a penalty is awarded. The person receiving the appeal must make a request in writing and received by the county within 10 days. I'm sorry, let me back up. Upon receipt of notice from the county of the assessment of a civil penalty and/or damages, the alleged violator may request a meeting with the Director of Engineering and Public Works. I think that language "may" makes it discretionary. He doesn't have to ask for a meeting with the director. And based on that, and that the case is before the board, the jurisdiction allows people 30 days to appeal any decision he makes. He has 30 days and not 10 to make that appeal, is my reading. That answer your question, Mr. Huff?
Well, yeah, I mean, it clarifies it some. I think there are two different appeal periods that we're talking about here. The 10-day appeal, I believe, is the appeal of the engineering department's ruling on the non-compliance penalty. And I believe that's the issue that we're being asked to remedy or address here in this request. I agree that you're within your 30 days to make appeal to the BZA. You're appealing the administrative decision of the engineering department.
Mr. Chairman, I believe what Mr. Morton is saying is the appeal to engineering is optional because it's a may condition, not a shall. So he didn't have to do that. He could have came straight to the board, which is what he chose to do. Is that correct, Myers? Is
Yeah,
that-
that's what it reads. When the statute says may, it's discretionary. That's not necessary. It's not jurisdictional. Shall means you shall do it. May means you don't have to do it.
Mr. Elliott, well, first of all, I guess we ought to let you speak if you have anything to add to what we have just discussed to support your request.
Okay, yes. My name is Wallace McClure. My home is 10645 Forest Crest Road, Knoxville, Tennessee, 37922. So first off, I want to apologize to the commission for this and engineering for this mistake. It's on my part. Also, I want to mention some of you will probably remember my father, and I want to mention he was much smarter in this area on dealing with which group was which than I am, but I'm learning, so hopefully you can give me some mercy there. And I do want to say I was confused over TDEC and Knox County being at the same place at the same time, and then both having, we needed to report to. That's entirely on me, and I take full responsibility for that. I was not ignoring Knox County with this confusion. As I said, I just dropped the ball on it. Within a week to 10 days of this report, we had removed all the fallen trees and any brush that were in the stream area in question, along with the buffer zone. We did submit a corrective action plan to TDEC on March 30th. However, I did not follow up with Knox County, and that is entirely my fault, and I will admit to that. We currently have done work in that area to clean up, like I said, all the brush, all the down trees in that area. We have the regular silt fence up. We also have high visibility silt fence up. I have pictures of that. It took us a little while to get that. Can I present that to you guys?
Sure.
Okay, I've got 2 copies of it here.
While you're doing that, I want to ask Steve, what's the status as far as engineering is concerned with the violations?
I talked to David Willett this morning, and he is our construction services supervisor. He says the site has made tremendous progress. It's not fully compliant at this moment, but they have complied with all of our asks. They submitted a corrective action plan. They cleaned up. They reinstalled the erosion controls, and they have complied with everything we've asked them to do.
Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
Also, I forgot to bring that. If anyone's interested, I do have a copy of the correction action plan that we submitted to TDEC. I'd like to give that to y'all. And I apologize for not doing that. We are continuing to work in that area, so we haven't done full stabilization there, but that is part of our plan. And that's all I've got to say on that. And I apologize once again to the commission for this.
Mr. Elliott, I think this is yours.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you for the further detail. I think I'm going to get right to it also based on all the information we have just heard. And based on, well, first I'll say, I'm going to make a motion to approve the appeal of the no response penalty based on the information that we've just learned about the ordinance and based on the fact that you've done everything they've asked.
Second. Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor of granting this, please say aye. Aye. Any opposition? Motion carries. All right.
I think.
I'm
Thank
not
you
sure
very
what
much.
to do after this.
Mr. Chairman, I think there's still the civil penalty still stands since you didn't reduce it. So I think you guys can hear that appeal today of his civil penalty, or you could send him back to us and we can work with him on that civil penalty. Myers, would you agree they could do that? They could do either one.
Within your board's discretion.
So you've agreed with him that I interpreted the ordinance wrong is what that motion did. Now we need to address the civil penalty, and however you guys wish to handle it. My preference would probably be you send him back to us and we can work with him down at engineering.
It's your penalty. I think you should deal with it.
Yeah. And then if we can't agree, we'll come back to here if he don't agree with what we decide.
I think that's a reasonable thing to do, and I don't believe that needs to be voted on. That's an administrative thing.
Okay, so
we ruled that the administrative decision was an error. So
okay.
Now to cure the error, it's up to you.
Okay, so Wallace, you need to reach out to Sandy, set up a meeting. You'll come in and meet with me and myself and Jim Snowden, and we'll address your civil penalty there.
And I will do a much better job this time than I did last time.
All right, thank you. Have a good
All
day.
right. Okay, thank you.
4H.
4H is a request of Joey Stats for waiver of side yard setback from 10 feet to 5 feet. The property is located at 10824 Westland Drive, parcel ID 153068. Property is zoned AG and F in the 5th Commission District.
Are you the applicant?
I am.
Can you state your name and address for the record?
Yes, it's Joey Stats with Johnson Architecture, 2018 Davenport Road.
Is there any opposition to this? None. Anything from codes?
We have nothing at this time.
Okay, give us your justification for the request of variance.
Sure. I think that the zoning map of this kind of tells a little bit more of the story, the picture, but this is kind of one of those properties that I believe it was zoned agriculture because of the estate portion of the agricultural zoning. Although since then, most of the development that has occurred along this peninsula and this part of Westland Drive has all been zoned PR or planned residential. So currently agricultural side yard setbacks are set at 10 feet. So they're wanting to do that. We're hired by the property owner to look at doing a single-story garage addition off to the side of this that would actually go to the north. And again, if this were zoned PR, they would be currently under that zoning. They would have a 5-foot setback. So the ask would be, or the hardship, I guess, is that they're still left as an old agricultural zone. Kind of furthermore, this is an old abandoned property. As you can see, kind of the jogs that occur, it's kind of complicated how all that property line got turned over, but I think this is abandoned property for the Western Avenue Road. As we understand, it used to extend all the way to the water. But beyond that, the topography and the water frontage as that property bends back in there for the adjacent property owner isn't really buildable. Their current fence sits right now on the property line that was agreed upon between the two of them. And the current design that we have for the single-story garage has been reviewed by the property owner, and I believe they've signed a letter of support that is submitted in the variance application.
Miranda, can you pull up the view that shows the zoning again? That red or magenta or whatever colored boundary, what is that? The property?
That's their property line, correct? Yeah, and you
extends
can
out
see
into the water.
Say what?
It extends into the water.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that's through the KGIS maps, which, yeah.
Well, I'm not saying it's an error. It just seemed odd.
Yeah.
It's on a lot of parcels. I think those parcels existed prior to TVA, I guess, flooding the lake, and so that they still own the property under the water. It's.
So you're the neighbor that would be affected by the reduction in the side yard setback is TVA, apparently, based on the property map. It's not a
No.
private owner.
It is private owner. It's that address, that's that house that's above.
Thought there was a little sliver of abandoned,
It had been actually turned over. Is it? I believe it had been split. According to the surveyor, the property had been split for the abandoned road. The reason it jogs that way at the entrance to the property is because a lot of their utilities still come in where the old road used to be. But track 2, I think I have it submitted in the application on the survey itself. So it shows track 2. There you go. That's a little bit easier to see. So that's the dashed in portion that shows track 2 is actually this property owner's property. Track 1 was the original, and then track 2 was turned over at that point. So they're proposing to build into track 2, which again is still part of their property. But as it sets right now, their property line runs along that fence line, the dark line. And so they're asking to be 5 feet off of that property line instead of 10 feet.
well, regardless of who owns that little strip, it doesn't seem like there's anybody there that would be impacted by this reduction. Whose is this?
This is District 5.
Oh, is that yours? Cecil, yeah, you were there and did the tour.
Yes. And Mr. Chairman, as we discussed in our review meeting, I met with the owner and reviewed the area that they're wanting to add the additional garage. And I find that seeing that we have a letter from the Michael Orr, who is the present owner of the property next to Mr. Johnson's property, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the request for variance of the setback of the side yard setback from 10 feet to 5 feet along the north property line.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You have your variance.
Thank you.
And I'd just like to say, one of the previous owners, Mr. Sid Blaylock,
Yeah.
was a very good friend of mine many years ago when I was first out of college. That was a very long time ago. I was shocked to hear that he had passed away, but
Yeah.
I'm glad somebody is getting some use out of his estate.
Yeah, I think that they're going to try to honor everything with the addition. I mean, you could see the elevations. Their goal is to try to make everything look like it was part of the house originally. Unfortunately, there was only a 2-car garage for that large of a house, so, you know.
Sid was a fairly plain fellow when it came to vehicles, but
Yeah.
housing, different story.
Yeah.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
5A.
5A is a request of Sean LeBaron for waiver of lot intensity from 1 acre to 0.5 acres for proposed Lot 1. Property is located at 6909 Weaver Road. Parcel ID is 078132. Property is zoned AG in the 6th Commission District.
Is the applicant here? None, seeing none, is there any opposition to this? Anybody from the public that wants to talk about this? Very well, I suppose we need to vote to defer, or?
Maybe we defer one more time, and if they don't show up next month, remove them. I think it's at the board's discretion of.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been on since January.
I say we end it going. They've not shown up each time, right?
I think they deferred after January and asked for a 60-day deferral. So that's why they're back on.
Looks like they deferred February
Yeah.
until April,
Oh, yeah.
and then they haven't called to defer again.
No, we've not heard from them.
If we vote to dismiss this, then they can refile.
Yes.
Very well.
I
I'm
make the
gonna,
motion to dismiss due to failure to appear on their 4th appearance.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor of deletion of this item, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. This is for 5B.
5B is a request of Rick Wilkinson to appeal denial of building permit. Property is located at 8502 Nubbin Ridge Road, parcel ID 154001. Property is zoned PR in the 4th Commission District.
Is the applicant here?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm Gary Prince, his attorney. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Rick Wilkinson. I actually brought Mr. Prince here with me. If I can't get my building permit, the last step would be for me to move to Chancery Court to see if I can get a better result there. And I'm asking you to approve my building permit. I have really close to having the site distance needed. I have 300 feet in one direction. I have 243 feet in the other direction. If we move the lady's fence back, I believe Mike and I talked about this a long time ago, I would have 250, which is the bare minimum. I think it's a safe place for a building permit for one driveway. And the property was accidentally rezoned when the final plat in 2016 was done. And I'd be happy to pass this out if you didn't see it in the thing. It's the rezoning map showing the one lot across Nubbin Ridge Road.
We seen it.
And that, based on the vesting rights TCA 13-4-310, it says that you guys got to give me my building permit. It was effectively approved when you rezone the property. And I have to go, again, if I can't get y'all to approve me here, then I have to go to court. If you'd like to talk about the mistake that's in writing that Knox County made, I have this handout. I'll be glad to show you if nobody's read it. And it's, you made a mistake by zoning the property when it originally wasn't, I guess, going to be zoned when we did the subdivision. On page 2 in my case file, it says when the Penrose Terrace subdivision was platted, the subject property was not included in the plat, even though it was required because it is less than 5 acres in size. I know it's kind of like an interpretation of the rule or whatever, but I believe that this says that you guys should give me my building permit. And I've cited a couple other cases that I think are more dangerous than mine. And I think having one driveway at the bottom of this hill where a school bus stops, I think it's reasonable, or I wouldn't have fought it this far. And again, I know that this step, if you turn me down, I have to do this before I could go to Chancery Court, and I hope to not have to do that. I think I think it's fair to give me the building permit.
This lot was part of a larger piece of property at one time?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
That was subdivided as part of a development plan, is that not correct?
Yeah, the subdivision, my brother and I bought into the subdivision real late in the process, but the preliminary plat, I guess, was approved. I was involved in getting the final plat approved. Obviously, you can tell by the zoning map that the property across the street in light yellow was zoned with it. And then that going with the mistake that's in writing, that it says it was required to be platted. And based on this Tennessee law, I think that vests the lot and makes it approvable then. And as I'm coming to you now, I think you should give me my permit because I believe it was actually approved then. And I'm not a lawyer, but again,
Mike, help me out with the process, if you would. It's my understanding when somebody wants to subdivide a piece of property, if it's all one piece of property, it first has to be zoned properly. The whole piece of property has to be zoned properly. And then a development plan and a plat and a subdivision plan has to be submitted and approved. Is that correct?
Correct, yeah. So the subdivision of the property has to be compliant with zoning. So in this case, the property was rezoned to planned residential. The little triangle piece of property on the east side or south side of Nubbin Ridge, I guess the east side, was part of the larger property, even though it was on the opposite side of the road, so it got rezoned with the rest of it. Once they got the zoning, then they went through the concept plan and development plan approval process through the Planning Commission. After that, it goes through a permitting review process called design plan, and that is followed then by the final plat that gets reviewed and approved by the Planning Commission.
And if, again, this is my understanding, if the person asking for the zoning to occur didn't want that piece of property on the other side of Nubbins Ridge Road to be included in the rezoning, it could have been divided out of the initial whole piece of property, and it would not have been zoned.
Correct.
But that didn't happen, did it?
No.
So your entire piece of property, including the piece that you're asking about, was at one time part of a whole piece of property that was zoned PR?
It's currently zoned PR. I'm
PR.
assuming that it was zoned agricultural before, but it could have been something else.
So it's zoned PR, which means it has to abide by the rules of the development plan. That piece of property, that remainder, that what he wrote, remnant, I guess you would want to call it, doesn't meet the requirements of the development plan. Now, should it have been on the plat? Yes. We didn't draw the plat. Somebody else drew the plat. Should it have been caught during the administrative process? Perhaps. But it doesn't change the fact that it is properly zoned PR. It was properly zoned as part of a larger piece of property at one time, and therefore it has to meet the requirements of the development plan that went with that zoning. So I think there's a note in the development plan that that piece of property is an unbuildable piece of property.
Yeah, but.
So I'm not sure that there's anything this board can do, but I will, whose is this? Mr. Williams.
May I speak?
Please,
Well, the bottom line is,
please speak to the microphone.
the bottom line is, and I'm Gary Prince, attorney, Hodges, Denny, and Carson. Does the people arguing against this who are not here today, do they want a house or do they want a piece of property which is agricultural and he dumps a bunch of equipment there? It's up to y'all.
The reason Gary's saying that is you guys have, by
Please
mistake.
speak to the microphone, we can't hear you.
You guys have, by mistake, they rezoned this property, so.
I'm
you
sorry,
know,
sir, I've got to cut you off right there. It was not rezoned by mistake. It was part of a larger piece of property that the rezoning request was made by the property owner. It was zoned properly at that time as a part of a request. If you didn't want it to be rezoned, it should have been cut out of the larger piece of property. There was
Okay.
no mistake made.
Okay, could we ask the lawyer to please help us understand this section 13-4-310?
No.
Okay. Yes, sir, I understand.
You have your own counsel. I'm sure he can explain it to you.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. If you can't approve me and I go to court and I was to lose, will the department be willing to zone it back to agriculture so I can use my property for something?
That was my point.
The new land use plan has it listed as SR and does not recognize agricultural, so no, it could not be rezoned back to agricultural.
Okay.
So what do we do?
Without a plan amendment. So you would have to amend the plan to rural conservation or rural living, and then he could request agricultural.
And that would need to go through Planning Commission and County Commission, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
You have a remedy if you can't get it through the court.
We understand. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we
Are
are,
we going to vote? Hold on a second.
yeah, I know. I'm just asking.
That being the case, I'm going to make a motion that we deny this request. Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposition? Motion carries.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Having no further business before the board,
Motion to dismiss?
motion to dismiss has been made and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. We're dismissed.